Huh? Oh, you know what you guys are?
Hey guys, it's Skizzy, and welcome to part 3 of the invention videos that I'm bringing out. The first thing that I want to talk about is that this is the third time recording this. The first time, my audio was sped up so much that it was like a chipmunk, and like literally it was 1 second of my 20-minute long commentary, and I couldn't retrieve the audio for it. So, and then I did a second take, and I kind of gave up because I couldn't do a second take of something that I already done. I can't like fake it, or not fake it, but like I can't redo it. It has to be original for me. So we're gonna do the same things we did in the video. It's just we're going to do it just completely natural. Again, we're not gonna like try to redo it exactly. So we talked about in the episode 2 or part 2. I keep calling them episodes because I'm just used to saying episodes. We talked about in part 2 how we ended off using the undead components and the hand cannon components for the OP methods. Now, I talked about the nerfs, or I started to talk about the nerfs, and I said we would pick up in this video of the nerfs. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm sorry if this footage in the background is kind of boring. It is what it is. Maybe I'll put up the other audio. I'm gonna put up the other background footage because I was making some tectonic masks, and also I was making malevolent helms. Basically what I did here, I'll show you some of my my other Gaiazos. So we what did we do? We went into this picture here, and we said, okay, so success! You have an armor gizmo shell. This one has Undead Slayer because it has this one here. As long as you put in one, you're always going to get an Undead Slayer. For the armor gizmo, these rumble components don't give you anything. Those are only offensive. And it gives you, I think, an equilibrium or something. But as you can see here, it says you gain 37,000 Invention XP just from doing this. And let me just bring it up here. Let me make a couple of gizmos. I'll make those exact gizmos, and I'll show you like how fast the XP is. And this over here, 37,000, is about 4 times of what it technically is now because of all the nerfs. They nerfed it twice. First it was half, and then it was half again. So we have 4 of these, and then we have 1 of these. So right now here we get the exact same thing, success, and it's 12,250. And then we could just repeat this, and if we had a full inventory, we would just get XP drops upon XP drops, and then basically after that we just disassemble, and we press all over here, and we wait for that to happen. So I recently got 168 Invention, not level Invention, but yeah, so actually let's make some of these in the background, and we can go through some more of my pictures that I have. Basically, we can go through this here. This is when I got 110 Invention, as you can see here. I felt it was kind of weird because it's a lighter color than most of these. These are like a kind of like a brownish orange, and this one here is like a yellowish, more a little brighter. And so the next thing, where is it? Here we go. The next thing. So what happened was after I got 99 with the undead and the cannon components, I went on to getting further XP. Obviously, with the same method, I got 99, and I made it all the way up to 116 before Jagex announced or had a system update for a cold fix. They said they were going to fix some of the gizmos and the XP on them, and then also I think it was something along the lines of magic stock, some sort of fletching, something I didn't do. So that went down, and let's do 1, 2, 3 of these and 1, 2 of these, and we'll create these. Just spam click, and they're like ticks. Almost 12,000 XP per tick. That's so good. Not quite as good as what it was before because they were 37,000 before, but yeah, it's still not bad. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed that the excuse me, thing was messed up, the audio. So yeah, we can take a look at this. So they kicked us off and did a cold fix, and I tried to log in. It would not let me log in, and this is the kind of message that I got when I was trying to log into the website. It said, "Login? Huh? What? Login failed. You are blocked. You are blocked. You are blocked. You are blocked." I was like freaking out, am I banned? Like, what the frick just happened? And I was like, no, gotta calm down. I'm not banned. This is not what it looks like when you get banned. Back when they first released Botany Bay, they I don't know what happened, but there was a glitch where, as soon as you logged in, it gave you a message saying that you were banned and you were taken to Botany Bay. And this happened to about 1,000 to 2,000 people. Totally lost my train of thought there. But yeah, so 1,000 to 2,000 people were they were sent to Botany Bay accidentally, and so it gave the message saying that you are banned. It's like thunderous looking thing. So it's not the exact same thing. So I kind of knew that I wasn't banned, but I was like, Jagex is doing something on my account. They're looking, either their servers are bad. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Either servers are bad, or they were looking to my account to see if I was cheating of some sort. But yeah. So I eventually, that took like 5 minutes to get back on, and I was like, you know what, that was complete XP waste. But yeah, I eventually got back on, and as you can see here, I got the 120 cape, and this is just me with a 122. I don't know why I did that again. But here's where the good juicy part is. Now you can see I have full tectonic and full malevolent, and I also have that in, here's just another picture of it, full malevolent and full tectonic. It's just a lot of each item, and basically what that is me collecting those items off of my alternate accounts. The buy limit is 2 for each of those items, and I was just trying my best to buy them almost instantly, and some of them were not, some of them were. So the reason why I did that is because, again, I was one of the first people to do this method, and I wanted to get a step up and get this stuff before other people, before the price rose like incredibly. So I did that method along with the hand cannon part, but it got to, the reason why I chose to do that is basically, you're asking, why does he have tectonic top and bottom? Why does he have malevolent top and bottom if the helms and all of each of the pieces gives you the same amount of unique components anyways. Why would you get the top of the legs? Well, the reason is because the biolimit for the helms are 2 per 4 hours per account, and that wouldn't last me 4 hours. So I said, well, I could pay a little extra, and you can do this in the wilderness. You can basically put on the armor to make it degradable, and you can go into the wilderness, and if you get killed in the wilderness, the person who kills you will get basically a percentage of what you had left on your item, but it doesn't give them the item itself degraded. It gives them the original components. So it would give you, say, like a tectonic helmet would give you 14 tectonic energies. Let's say if it was at 75% of that, it would give you or like if it was a half of that, it would give you 7 of those tectonic components. So the only thing you really do lose is the secondary component, which is around 500,000 each 14 that you use. So that being said, I have that's what I did for that method, as I was basically trying to bypass the buy limit even more than I was already with the amount of accounts that I had. So in theory, instead of having just 2 helmets of each class per 4 hours per account, I was having there was 4 for the legs. So 4 helmets is equivalent to 2 legs, and then 6 helmets is equivalent to 2 tops. So you would have 6 plus 4 plus 2. So you would have 12 total per account. So you can imagine that would last. I believe it did last for the full 4 hours, because between that and these 3 items, it was a pretty solid method. And so basically that's what I did until around 110 mil XP. And then I was like, I had the thought, what if I do a little psychological test to see where Lei Mei is at with his XP, because he hadn't logged out in a while, and I thought he was gonna, pass me. I was pretty sure he was gonna pass me. So, or if he had already passed me, because I went to bed. So I was a little paranoid about that, and so I ended up just making, like, dismantling these items here, so that I had enough components to make a lot of gizmos, and I stored up around 17 million XP in Invention. And what I did was I logged out to see if he was going to log out too after he saw my XP. And that was kind of a mistake on my part, because as soon as I logged out, Jagex did another hotfix. They saw that I was gaining too much XP, basically. So they hotfixed me, and that's when we had the second hotfix, and our XP instantly changed. Like, all of the perks went half of what they were. So not only did we get half of what it was before, but then there was a second halving of the XP. So that's where it brought it down to where it is right now. So it's around almost 12,000 an hour, not an hour, but per tick. So yeah. So you guys aren't alone. I also suffered from it as well. I lost 9 mil XP, 8.5 mil XP worth of XP that I could have gotten if I didn't log out at the time. But they had Hawkeyes on my account, which is completely fine. And it is what it is. I am really happy that it went the way it did afterwards, because not the way it started, but afterwards. Like, I'm happy with the augmentable type and the XP rates that you can get now from the gizmos. They're a lot better. They're more reasonable. They're not insane. They're very expensive, so people aren't really going to do it. Even if it was, it's a little more XP an hour. I'm getting probably around 2.5 or maybe 3 mil an hour doing this. And with the Dark Beast method, I was getting around 2. It comes out to be around 2 between the components that you get extra afterwards, and also just the time it takes to just to level up your weapons and your armor. So, like I said, I had already recorded this, so it's going to be a little different, and unfortunately, it's probably going to be worse commentary. But yeah, so what I did in the first one is I went into our part 2 of the invention, and I looked at the comments, and I basically just gave my thoughts on the comments, and I'm just going to go through it again and see what happens this time. So, let me refresh this page here. And so it has 387 views on my second video, which is pretty good, considering most of my videos are like 100 views. And it has 65 likes and 12 dislikes. So here's from the top comments, just going all the way down. Let me just get this. So everyone's so mad because you had Insight and GP to go ham. Coming from a player who doesn't even play anymore, it's nice to see someone else at the top. It's too bad, though, that before the next skill, 5 pages will be 5.4 bill. Yeah, that's true. There's not really much Jagex can really do about that. They tried. They tried to bring out the prestige system, and we did not want that. You know, I was maxed XP. I was 5.2 bill for a year before Invention came out, and I was kind of, wanting to have the prestige system because I wanted to train more, and part of me wanted to train more, and part of me didn't. Part of me wanted to be lazy and accomplished, and I already did stuff. And man, I'm not trying to neglect my friends chat, but I just get so focused. Like when I focus on one thing, like everything else just gets put on the back burner, and it's just like I can't focus on it. So yeah. Then someone commented on his comment and said people are mad because he exploited the game. He even admitted that hand cannons and undead components were way too off. But good for him that he found it by himself and took advantage while it lasted. That's not entirely true that I found it by myself. The hand cannon one was someone had already found it. I just reverse engineered it. But the undead components, I'm pretty sure that I was one of the first ones to actually figure it out and to do it, because I just test a lot of things. That's just the kind of person I am. So the next person says, I saw on part 1 a folder called PhD stuff in your browser, and what are you doing with it? So this was kind of cool. I said in the last take of this, I started talking about how my life goal is to provide clean water to every single country that I can possibly. And you might say, Scuzzy, Nate, that's not a realistic goal. You can't go around the world and provide clean water to every single person. It's not a possibility. And to be honest, look at my account. I've done a lot of impossible things. I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying that, I do things that people think are impossible, and I really do feel like this is a goal that I can meet. I know it's going to take pretty much most of my life to acquire it, and I'm totally fine with that. And I just have a heart to help people with that. And I think it's kind of weird because I'm a gamer, and I don't know if it's weird, but let me know what you guys think about that. I'm sure a ton of you guys are on the same boat with that. You guys probably want to help people and stuff. So that's kind of why I went for, or was thinking of going for my PhD, because for anything to really get off the ground, I need to have my PE license. I need to be a professional engineer, and for that I need to work underneath a professional engineer already for 4 years of qualifying experience. So I was kind of on the fence. I was like, well, if I go and do a PhD, is that going to count as qualifying experience? Is that gonna, how long is that gonna take? I'm gonna be away from my family. I'm not gonna see them for like 3 or 4 years. I didn't know if I wanted to do that, so I was really on the fence about it, and I decided not to. So that's why it was up in my browser. I just didn't really have a chance to I had a chance to delete it, but I just didn't delete it. Yeah, so that's the PhD stuff. Oh, and the degree that I have is in civil engineering. I have a bachelor's of civil engineering, so the PhD and the master's would be along those lines. It would be more along the lines of environmental engineering or water purification. So yeah, so Telx RS says it's cool to see you producing these videos. Good luck on 200 mil if you need it. Question mark. Yeah. So thank you. Next guy says thirst. Not the word thirst. He goes 3ST. You know how people say first, second, and third? Well, he commented thirst. And I said, the thirst is real, and I winked. I thought it was kind of funny, but whatever, not really. Next person says part 3 or riot. And then someone underneath him said riot. You don't have to worry about that because part 3 is here. And hopefully the audio is working this time and the webcam is working. So next guy down says, "Grats on your golden gnome coming in October." I'm not sure if that's like a real thing. If they just give that to whoever's rank 1 at the time. But yeah, I'm not really expecting anything really for it. But we'll see what happens. Oh, and there's some new comments. What's your Zodiac sign? I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I think that's like the not the not hologram thing. What is it called? The thing with the stars, right? That's the thing with the stars. I think my sign is Cancer because I was born in July 17th, 1992. It's either Cancer or Crab, and I'm probably gonna laugh at me because I don't know this, but I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I'm a Christian and I don't really know how I feel about all of that, oh, astrology, that's what it is. I don't know how I feel about all of that stuff. I feel like kind of like a coincidence, but I don't really want to bring it up. But yeah, that is my sign, I think it is. I gave you my birth date, so you can find out what my sign is if you really want to. And then someone says, "Hey, do you plan on doing some weekly videos?" I think that would be a lot of fun to watch while grinding. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be doing that. I know that I'm going to be finishing up this series, and I'm going to be doing some guides on Invention to help you guys out, whether it's money making or, gaining fast XP or whatever. But I'm not sure because, when I got 5.2 bill XP last time, back in January of 2015, I kind of went to the lobby and I quit RuneScape, kind of. Basically quit for the most that I could. Because I was still addicted to it. But I was still in the lobby, and, no one really wants to see that. Like, there's nothing going on there. So, I don't know if I'm going to bring videos. Maybe if you guys have suggestions. Lay May ain't even mad. Keep up the great work. Okay. Oh, that was a new comment. I didn't seen that one before. Alright, I'm glad he's not mad. I was a little worried that he was mad. Because I don't like conflict and that kind of stuff. But I do like competition, which is weird. I don't know how that works, but okay. Your intro is the worst. Great video, though. That one also is a new comment. I'm going to have to disagree. A lot of people like my intro. When I first brought it out, there was a lot of hate on the video, or on the intro, but people have come to know and love it, and it's kind of like my signature, so if you're thinking I'm going to get rid of it, it's not going to happen. It's going to stay there. Interesting video. Going to watch the next parts for sure. And congrats on rank 1. Thank you. Next part is here. Rich get richer. Shake my head. Not really sure what you're talking about because I'm not richer than I was before. I cannot wait for you to be rank 1 as I like your videos and it's nice to have a change. Thank you very much. Congrats on most likely being the rank 1 for a couple years. Thank you so much. Is dual wielding faster than two-handers? From my experience, it should be the same. It is the same. The only difference is the price. Two-handers give you 150% of the XP, basically, of your main hand. Of when you have dual, your dual. So, like on a Dark Beast, for example, your main hand weapon is going to give you 37 XP per kill, and your offhand is going to give you half of that. So, if you put those two together, you basically have your two-hander. The reason why I'm using dual wield instead of two-hander is because it's cheaper and it's faster XP to just dismantle it at level 10. And I didn't really want to dismantle a Noxious Scythe because that's 150 mil. So I'd rather dismantle 50 mil worth of something instead of 150. So next guy says, let's DI Scuzzy Invention in PM. I still don't know what that means. I didn't know what it meant before, and I don't know what it means now. But yeah. So, boy, you've gained some weight, but grats on rank 1. Yeah, I did actually gain some weight. I used to be around 130 pounds back in 2014, spring of 2014. And during the summer of 2014, when I did Slayer, I gained about 40 to 50 pounds. And that was due to, eating junk food and not exercising and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I put on a good bit of weight. And thank you for gratzing me on rank 1. Keep going and secure that rank 1. I am. Thank you. I'm going. Okay. Great video again. Would love to hear about your sleep schedule throughout Invention. That is also something else that I talked about in the other video. And I asked the friends chat if they wanted to see, if they wanted me to talk about it, because it was already at, well, I guess it's at that length too now. It's around 25 minutes into the video. And they said it was fine if it would be a 40-minute video or even longer. They would not mind as long as I talked about, my sleep schedule and how I stayed awake. Both of those things people wanted me to mention, so I will mention them here. And then someone says, dude, how did you get 167 mil after 5 days? Well, I'm almost actually 170 mil now. As you can see, this video is only half an hour long, and I got, 2 million XP in it. So this method is still pretty OP. It's 200 GP per XP, and it hurts the bank. Let's just say. Even people who have made the money and have the money, have lots of money, it still hurts the bank in it. You feel it right here when you lose that much money. I'm telling you. But I know I can always make it back, so it's not that big of an issue. And I really gotta go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna pause the video here, and I'm gonna be right back in a sec. So yeah, okay. Let's see. I was getting kind of cold in here, so I put on my my thin hoodie. So let's see. How did I get 167? Well, we're talking about these. We're talking about in these parts of this series. So I'm not even really answer that. It's kind of basically if you just watch the videos, you'll know. It's just a combination of everything between staying up a really long time, staying focused for a really long time, finding the right items to use, the best methods. It's just a combination of all of that. That's how I got it. It says, have you thought about using zealots at Dark Beasts? You use very little prayer pots if you mage, plus strength leech prayer, and you'd have enough inventory spots for the pots until your item degrades to level 10. Or, upgrades to level 10. I'm not so sure about that because I use a lot of summoning flasks at Dark Beasts, so because you can have your familiar do that literally every second because there's so many Dark Beasts there. So it actually helps a lot to do that. So I don't know if I would have enough inventory room if I did that, but I have thought about it, and I was using the zealots before, but I did decide to use just the demon horn necklace because kind of lazy, and it's not that much XP difference. But if you do want to use the zealots, yes, definitely use the zealots, and also use the either you got to use your leech curses. Basically, it's interesting to hear about your road to rank 1. Oh, this is a new comment actually. Cool. It's interesting to hear about your road to rank 1. Good luck. Good luck with the rest of the race. I also wanted to ask you what you think about the buy limit. Having an army of alts is quite a big thing to do. Quite a big thing to do to circumvent the buy limit, and will likely upset a lot of people. Yes, I understand that. It also must be quite the annoyance for you to deal with all those accounts. Very true. Very true. Do you think the buy limits are working as they should? Is it protecting the more casual players like myself and the economy, or is it inefficient at that? That's a pretty in-depth question. Most of the buy limits I think are fair. Jagex did a very good job on that. There was a time where the GE just didn't have any buy limits. What they had instead was boundary limits of how much you could buy and sell for. You could go up to maybe 15%, and that's it. You didn't have that free roam of you didn't really have playroom for any margins or anything like that. So the GE has like evolved along the years, but as far as the buy limits, they're there for a reason, because if everybody had access to a limited amount of resources, then it kind of would I think it would collapse the economy. I'm not exactly sure about that, but you wouldn't have people buying from other people like directly. You would just have. See, I think I would need to think a little bit more about that question. That's a pretty in-depth question, but I do think that Jagex has done a pretty good job. Like, for example, I guess one of the items I wouldn't really consider a good buy limit is bandos. You can only buy one of those now, and it's really weird because I was trying to stock up on bandos and like armadillo and stuff. It was even tough for me with all my accounts. So I can't imagine someone trying to stockpile bandos just on one account. It would take you literally months. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's probably gonna make a lot of people mad, but at the same point in time, like you said, it's very annoying to have those accounts. Like you gotta upkeep them, and you got to make sure that they have their money, and they got to be members. Either you're paying in real life money, like so you're paying like $7 an account. Imagine that every single month you'd be paying hundreds of dollars a month. But yeah, as far as the buy limits, I think most of the buy limits are pretty good. I mean, it's really a give and take. I mean, I put in a lot of effort to maintain those accounts, and I'm a firm believer in something. If you put effort into something, you should be rewarded for it. And it's not against the rules. Jagex allows it, and if that's the decision that you want to make, then you can do it too. I'm not going to tell you what items to do. I'd leave that to you to figure out. But yeah, for the most part, I've never really wanted to say, like, to tell anyone that I was doing that because it kind of felt like a guilty feeling. But at this point, uh, it is what it is. I mean, it's not like I'm over there and botting on all of my accounts or whatever to make money. I'm like actually putting in the work. You know what I mean? Even if it is merching, and some people don't consider merching very much work, but I assure you, it is. It's very exhausting of the mental capacity to try to figure out what items will be good, especially on all those accounts. Because if you take a big risk, you could lose a lot of money. But yeah, so that's enough about that question. Your intro is gold. So see, someone likes my intro. It's nice hearing from you. It's nice hearing from you how you achieved this, and obvious it's hard for someone to overpass you to rank 1. Congrats in advance, and do not fall asleep. I'm just starting to level up the skill, so it's nice to hear what you were thinking about. And I feel like I'm wasting a lot of XP. Like, what is going on? This is 72 seconds. Thank you so much. And I wish you luck on your endeavors in the skill. And I will not fall asleep. This is the last stretch for me, and hopefully tonight we can get, or I can get 200 mil, but hopefully you guys will join me for it. And then high quality intro. I'm detecting a little sarcasm there, but it's funny, and I'll laugh at that. First go, bro go. I don't know what that means. Oh, 1 hour ago, 80 alts. God damn. Well, the math was a little off. I didn't buy all 4,000 of those hand cannons at the same time. I don't really want to say, but I didn't buy them all at the same time. I don't actually have 80 accounts. I have less than 80 accounts, but it's still pretty freaking high up there. When you were merching with your army, what price of items worked best for you? Not looking for a specific answer, just wondering if I could use all my alts on items that are, say, 10 to 50,000 and make enough profit over them all for it to be worth it. I have around 1 to 1.2 bill to start with. Now, when I first did this commentary, I talked about how, like, it took me a second to figure out, like, what types of items are around that. And basically, the gist of it is you want to get an item that will yield a percentage back that you as a player are happy with. Some players, they're happy with 1%. Like, say, if you're flipping Pernix or, like, Nex armors or just like that kind of stuff. If you're doing like active flipping, you usually get a little under 1%, 1% max. But if you're doing things like a 1-day merch or a 2-day merch, where you're holding an item for a little longer than just a couple of hours, then you would want to go for a little more percentage. You would want to go for about, I would say, 3 to 5% is a good um, is a decent item. It's not like a really good item, but me personally, back when I started in 2013, I was getting around 25% yield back, which was insane. Nowadays, sometimes the items that I do, it's around 3%. I won't go lower than 3%. I'll just say that. I don't go lower than 3%. And but normally it's around 10 to 15% of what I put in. So if I have 20 bill bank and I put in 10 bill and I have 10 bill, so, my alts are buying with 10 bill and, I'm selling the items that I just collected for 10 bill. So I have items and then cash and they go back and forth like that. Well, not exactly like that, but whatever. But the money gets cycled like that. That's the best way, is you divvy up your money in half, one buy, one selling the stuff. And once you find a good item, you can probably stick with it. Like, I've stuck with certain items for a very long time, very profitable. It's how I managed to pay for my 200 mil all. It's how I managed to pay for 200 mil invention. It's just a beautiful thing. When you do it right, it can be a beautiful thing. You can also lose a lot of money if you're not careful. So my suggestion is, well, yeah, I can think of an item right now that actually is, you can do, it's between 10 to 50,000, and you make around 3 to 7% on it. So yeah, it would definitely be worth it. And like I said, just go ham and test some items. Make a huge spreadsheet in Excel. I have one. I might show it. It depends on if you guys. I'm sure you guys want to see it. There's no doubt in my mind that you guys want to see it. It's just I'm usually more like of a closed book. I don't like talking about like the stuff that I hold dear to me, like stuff that has helped me. Just because from my past experience, people don't really accept the help anyways, and they're just mean about it, and they did just get jealous at you and tell you you suck and all this other negative stuff. So it made me kind of like close up and didn't really want to tell people kind of my methods and stuff, just because I was paranoid about it. And yeah, so yeah, definitely you can definitely, with 1 bill, you can definitely make some good money. Your vids are really informative and clear. They clear up and explain a lot of what I was wondering, so thank you very much for that. You are very welcome. Your revolution bar scares me, but regardless, congrats on rank 1. Thank you. I asked him, why does it scare him, because I didn't really quite know, and someone else commented, I think he means you don't have the abilities in order of DPS. So that's my bad. I don't really know how the DPS really works. I've been out of the loop for a little bit. See, I don't know how to really answer these guys' questions, because, like, it's a very, very, like, it's an invention skill, so you can do one thing one way, or you can do it another way. There's no, like, I mean, I guess there is really a best way, but it all really depends. So, that's all the comments on this video. And then I went to part 1. I woke up, and it had 1,200 views. And then I refreshed it, and I was like, it had 3,200 views, and I just refreshed it now, and it has 4,300 views. What the heck? This video is this is like the highest, most viewed video that I've had since my 1 million nature rune video. I don't know why that video got 90,000 views, but it did for whatever. But this one I know is actually getting like views. Like you guys, someone posted my first video on Reddit, and everybody just like going crazy about it because like everybody wants to know how rank 1 did it. How did he do this? And like, did he cheat? They want to know, like, is he legit and shit? So legit and shit. I'm a poet. Cool. But yeah, so like 100% legit, guys. And 100% honest with you guys as well. But yeah, so about the we're closing in on 40 minutes, so I'm gonna make this pretty quick. But how did I stay awake? Well, there's a couple of different components to it. First thing is I drank a lot of water. I suggest you drink a lot of water because it helps with your body's fluid cycles, and it just helps with your overall health, and it does keep you awake longer. I don't know why it does. You know, my first thought is because your mind goes, oh, hey, he's got water. We don't really need to sleep because he's got water. But I don't know why your body would say that, but it could, you know, it could be the reason. But that's why you see me taking a drink like every couple of minutes, is because, you know, I want to keep myself hydrated, because I used to not keep myself hydrated, and I would always be tired and always be achy, and, you know, like, I don't like that lifestyle, you know, and I don't know anyone who would like that lifestyle. So yeah, so the second thing that I have is a bottle of, it's called Ningxia Red. I don't know if you can see this in the webcam. Yeah, it's called Ningxia Red, and you gotta shake this up. But this comes from Ningxia, China, and it has, let's look at the ingredients. It has a lot of nutritional stuff in here. It has whole Ningxia wolfberries, blueberries, plums, cherry, aronia, pomegranate, grape, orange, yuzu, lemon, and tangerine. All of those packed into this bottle. This bottle is very expensive. It costs $40 freaking for this bottle. So I only usually drink like an ounce a day or 2 ounces a day. But, and I already took a swig of this earlier in my other commentary, but I'm going to do it again because I need to explain how it tastes. So it has like a vitamin kind of taste. Basically, like, it tastes like all of those fruits mixed together, but it definitely tastes like vitamins. It's not like terrible though. Like some people, like, I don't really like vitamins. I don't like really like the taste of vitamins, but this is bearable. And what it does is it gives you, it does a lot of things for you. Really cool stuff. But the main thing that it does do for you is it gives you sustained energy throughout the day, which is nice. So water is my first resort. Ningxia Red is my second resort. When I get too tired and I don't think I'm gonna last, my third resort is a Monster. I never drank that in my life, but I bought a 24-pack just for Invention, just in case I needed it. I had, let's see, a total of 4. So that's roughly 1 a day, a little less than 1 a day. So I don't think that's too bad. And obviously the last resort beyond the Monster, if that doesn't work, is to actually take a nap. And I have done that on a couple of occasions, but I didn't really want to because it was going to ruin my chance at rank 1. So I tried to prevent that as much as I could. So all this like liquid stuff that you can help. Also, another thing is I go to the sink and I put cold water on my face to refresh it. I get up, do a little exercise, stretch a little bit. You got to make sure that like you're not like sitting for long periods of time, because your body just gets used to that, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna stay in this way, and it's gonna hurt if you're any other way. So between that kind of stuff, and another big factor is just mental stamina. That's not a word I used in the last time, but that is a great word, and I'm gonna use it. Mental stamina. Just like the capacity of the focus that they had really helped me. And also going for that rank 1, staying in that rank 1 spot, that also kept me going. You guys kept me going. The adrenaline kept me going. All of this other stuff kept me going. Like, it's all a combination, and that's how I did it. That's how I stayed up. I stayed up around 50 hours at first, and then I got really tired and I took a power nap. What I did was one of my someone that was in my friend's chat that was following me, not following me, but whatever, you know what I mean. He was in my friend's chat. He told me that he could help me a little bit to stay awake, and I was like, it's kind of sketchy, but I heard him out, and he said basically drink like half of this water, then swiftly drink either half or like as much as your stomach can hold of Monster or caffeinated drink, and then you go to bed for about 15 minutes. And what that does is it allows your body to go into kind of like a relaxed state, and this is how I felt from experience. This is like what my experience was. I went into my bed and I felt like I was laying there and was like really warm, and just like a comfort feeling, and I fell asleep for 15 minutes, and then I woke up and instantly the caffeine kicks in, and I got in a 15-minute power nap, so it's the best of both worlds. Now that's like an extreme last resort, so I only did that once, or maybe twice, I don't know, but yeah, so that's how I stayed up. That's how I stayed awake. And the other question was, how did I? What? No. What was the other question? How did I stay awake? And I don't even remember what the other question is. Hold on a sec. Let me try to remember. Aha! I had to take a look at the comments. So, one of the people said, "Great video again. Would also love to hear about your sleep schedule throughout the invention." So that's what I was going to talk about. So the first 50 hours, I was awake, and then I took a 15-minute power nap with the Monster and the water and that kind of thing. Then what did I do after that? I stayed up for I think another 30 hours, and then I took a 2-hour nap. I stayed up for a little bit longer. And then I took, I stayed up for another day, and I took a 2-hour nap, and then a 1-hour nap, and it came to a total of 10 hours and 15 minutes for the last 5 days, and then just like this past day, at like 10 a.m. Eastern time, I took another nap, and I took a 2.5-hour nap. So basically, I'm at a total of 12 hours and 45 minutes over the course of 6 days now. So it's not very much sleep, but hey, at least it's some sleep, right? And here we are, and almost 200 mil, and I'm definitely gonna sleep a lot once I'm 200 mil. But yeah, so guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see another part, like a part 4, this is part 3, a part 4. I'm not really sure what I'm going to say, because I kind of showed, everything that I did do for 200 mil. Let's recap really fast. This is going to be a 50-minute video. I hope you guys don't hate me for it. I know personally I like watching 50-minute videos, but that's just because I have a lot of time on my hands. I know a lot of people like to watch like these like 8-minute, 10-minute videos, but that's not the kind of guy I am. And there's so much going on in my head that I don't think I could even make an 8-minute video. I just can't pack it down into an 8-minute video. It's got to be like a 30-minute video. There's just so much information. So let's recap. So from level 1 to 49, I did basic perks, and I used rune commanders, rune play bodies, unicorn stallions, pouches, overloads, overload supremes, and I also did some of the other things like elder shield bow, and whoops, sorry, yeah, so basically that was 1 through 49, and I used all of these components to make the gizmos, and whatever I had left over I just shoved into the gizmo. So it was, it wasn't the best XP, and it certainly wasn't the cheapest. It was actually probably one of the most expensive for those levels, because the XP was so low. But then from 49 to 99, I was switching between the cannon and also the undead components. And actually, from 49 to about midway between, like, maybe 94. I was doing the just the cannons, and then from 94 to about 116, I was doing undead components and the cannons together. And then after that happened, they nerfed it, and I decided to spend a little extra money and just go the full yard, the full 9 yards, and to spend the extra money for the good XP, basically for the really good XP. So then I sold my cannons, made a pretty good profit, and used that profit to pay for you know, the tier 90 stuff. After that, I got to around 110 mil, and then Jagus did a hotfix, and I had around 17 mil XP. That got cut in half, so I still had some of the items in here for that. So that was about that, and then they started to do the augment stuff, and then from 110, or actually like 117 to 165, I would say, is what I did. I did Dark Beast for that. I was actually running around trying to do, trying to test different things, constantly looking. I was like, you need 40,000 XP in your gizmo to level it to level 10, and I was just trying to find the best places to do that. The best place that I found was Dark Beast, and it took me about an hour and 5 minutes each time to level it up, and it came out to be around 2 mil an hour, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, so that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, you gotta put them in the comment section, because otherwise I won't know what you guys want, and if it's gonna be pretty vital to see if there's gonna be another episode to this, because you guys could want an episode all you want, but if there's no content for me to talk about or to explain or what have you, then there's really no point in doing that. You know what I mean? So there's a couple different options we could do, and I'm definitely looking at the comments of all 3 of the videos, and make an educated decision on what to make the next part about. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys didn't die of exhaustion and tiredness and boredness of this video, and it's not showing my face very well. Sorry. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and take care. Peace.